Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Committee Reads. I am your host, KWCs, and with me today I have Alex, Grayshot, Nagoda, Ditto, and Joe. And today we will be covering Match 114, Godzilla vs. Gigan by Christian Saliver. You primitive insects are no threat to us, droned the cold, emotionless voice of the being once known as Dr. Ted Hoffman. His once human body hovered above the floor, now segmented and insect-like. His cold, dead eyes stared at the view screen before him. And neither is your bladed beast. Our cyborg will make short work of yours, and then you will have only one option: surrender to us or die. The being he was addressing did not find his ultimatum amusing. "Enemy of peace," replied the young, human-like face of the Star Hunter Nebula M chairman, pointing a finger at Hoffman. "Our plans have been in motion for some time now, and we will not let some foolish mutation stand in our way. Gigan will destroy your cyborg, and then you as well. And then we'll see who surrenders to whom. Pass."
"This conversation bores me," Dr. Hoffman said. He waved his insect arm, and a moment later, his view screen deactivated, cutting off communication between the two aliens. Thousands of miles away, two cybernetic organisms, both brought to life by technology from beyond the stars, approached each other. The Cedar Point amusement park, normally a locale of fun and laughter, was about to suffer the wrath of two warring alien empires. The ground shook as Godzilla rushed towards the point programmed into his circuits by the alien masters, every footstep threatening to topple the nearby roller coasters. Moments later, a shriek pierced the air as Gigan swooped down, dropping from the air and touching down on his feet. The tremors from his landing succeeded where Godzilla had failed, leveling a few of the smaller structures and rides. Striking a pose with his arms, brandishing the size they ended with, Gigan was ready to fight. Throwing his arms open wide and letting loose with a fierce, synthesized roar, Godzilla was equally ready. The two cyborgs stood there for a moment, awaiting their orders. The order was given. Pass.
Godzilla immediately opened fire with missiles from the launchers housed on his dorsal fins. The projectiles blasted Gigan in the chest, knocking him back. The winged creature screeched, firing a blast of his cluster light ray. Godzilla charged forward, ignoring the explosions going off around him. Leaping up through the air, the cybernetic Godzilla tackled Gigan feet first, sending him crashing into the top thrill dragster. The towering roller coaster, second largest in the world, was instantly crushed beneath the two behemoths, sending metal shrapnel scattering everywhere. As Gigan tried to escape from the broken, twisted rails, Godzilla leapt onto his chest, biting and clawing at his face. Freeing his left arm, Gigan swung it up and slammed the side of it into Godzilla's head, knocking him aside. Just as Gigan managed to wrench himself free from the wreckage, Godzilla attacked again, this time unleashing an atomic ray from his mouth. The blue blast struck Gigan in the gut, charring the plating on his chest. Gigan shrieked and swung his scythe at the reptile's head, intent on cleaving it in two, but Godzilla was too fast, easily dodging the slice and leaping away from the Hunter M cyborg. By the time Gigan had turned around, Godzilla was already a good distance away, roaring at his foe, daring him to come and get him. Gigan eagerly obliged, swinging his bladed arms around as he charged the cybernetically reanimated corpse. As Gigan approached, Godzilla hunched down and fired more missiles from his dorsal fins. Some of them were knocked away by Gigan's scythe, but most of them detonated against his torso, eliciting chirps of anger with every explosion. Nearing the cybernetic Godzilla, Gigan again raised his right arm into the air and prepared to bring it down on its head, blasting Gigan directly in the face. His visor sparking, Gigan stumbled backwards, crossing his sights over his face. A moment later, Gigan was slammed face first into the pavement as Cybergodzilla leapt on his back and began tearing at his wings, shredding their crimson membranes. Gigan shrieked and struggled as he tried to dislodge the Leviathan cyborg, but Cybergodzilla would not let go, tearing his claws through Gigan's wings. While there was still enough of his wings left to use, Gigan tried to take to the air. The motion caused Cybergodzilla to lose his footing and topple off Gigan's back, allowing the bird-like creature to rise into the sky. I have a feeling a lot of these older matches are just going to reuse the same names over and over again in their paragraphs.
That's the standard.
Yeah, that's the standard.
I think
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Old KWC is so cool, guys.
Cybergodzilla tilted his head upward as he watched Gigan circle him above. He launched missiles into the air, trying to hit his airborne foe, but Gigan was too fast, easily avoiding them. Suddenly, he swooped down, diving directly at Cybergodzilla. Taken by surprise, the mechanical Godzilla reacted too late, allowing Gigan to gash his whirling buzzsaw against the top of the cyborg's head, sparks flying as the saw met the armor plating, protecting the reptile's skull. As Cybergodzilla howled in pain, Gigan approached from the side, slicing the lizard's neck and sending the cyborg crashing to the ground. Landing a few meters away, Gigan shot off another burst of his cluster light ray, surrounding Cybergodzilla with explosions. As the cyborg writhed about, Gigan held out his arm and fired his grappling cables, lassoing them tightly around the cyborg lizard's throat. Reeling his cables in, Gigan dragged his opponent through the amusement park debris. Once Cybergodzilla was in reach, Gigan gave slack to his cables once again and kicked his foe hard in the gut, sending him hurtling through the air until the cables tugged hard on his throat, bringing him harshly to the ground. Reeling Cybergodzilla in again, Gigan trapped with evil gillery, firing up his trusty buzzsaw once more. Pass.
Why does Glory get a laugh out of me? I'm sorry. That amuses me so.
Glory.
Anyway.
Alright. As he was pulled along the ground, Cybergodzilla found one of the rails of the top thrill dragster in his claws. Rising up to his feet, he slammed it down onto Gigan's face, bashing his visor. Gigan staggered back, momentarily blinded by Cybergodzilla's sun. The reptilian cyborg ran behind Gigan, pulling the grappling cables around against the blades of his buzzsaw and slicing through them, effectively freeing the cybernetic Godzilla. As Gigan turned to face his foe, his chest was struck by an atomic blast, knocking him backwards. With his foe distracted, Cybergodzilla charged and leapt into the air, ready to force him to the ground once again. But Gigan was ready for the tactic this time. As soon as Cybergodzilla was in reach, Gigan bent down and brought his tail forward, snatching Cybergodzilla's snout and the clawed, metallic clamp his tail ended in. Gigan used the momentum from his foe's leap and sent him soaring into the air, crashing down hard. Gigan turned and laughed at his opponent's suffering as Cybergodzilla struggled to regain his wits and get back to his feet, only to collapse back to the ground. Marching up to the fallen cyborg, Gigan gave him another hard kick, sending him skidding across the pavement. Flaming debris was sent flying through the air as Gigan nailed Cybergodzilla with another cluster light ray, withdrawing an injured cry. Pass?
No, two more.
Two more? Okay. Weakly, Cybergodzilla managed to lift himself to his feet and snarl at Gigan. The scythe-armed cyborg responded by opening twin compartments in his chest and shooting off dual razor discs, sending him hurtling at Cybergodzilla. The reptile managed to avoid the first, but wasn't as lucky with the second. Briefly throwing sparks, the disc hit its target, sending Cybergodzilla's mechanical arm crashing to the ground. The lifeless green eyes of Dr. Hoffman stared in disbelief at the scene unfolding on his view screen.
You could pass. Now, Joe, you're up.
Pass.
Gigan is defeating our cyborg. But despite the damage he was sustaining, Cybergodzilla was only down, not out. Turning to face Gigan, the reptilian cyborg roared furiously and charged, surprising his foe. Gigan swiped his right slight at the approaching Cyber Godzilla, who easily avoided the attack, leaping clear over Gigan's head. As the bird-like kaiju turned to face his opponent, he was caught completely off guard as Cyber Godzilla lunged forward, tackling Gigan to the ground and sinking his fangs into the alien creature's neck, actually piercing his metallic skin. Gigan's cry became warped as the cybernetic Godzilla tore through it into his throat, sending chunks of armor plating and circuitry falling to the ground. Just as it seemed that Cyber Godzilla would bite his way completely through Gigan's neck, he was suddenly struck in the head by one of Gigan's sights, sending him careening to the ground. Cyber Godzilla got back to his feet just in time to watch Gigan do the same, his head bobbing up and down as it tried to sit on a neck that was no longer complete. Gigan's beak opened as he tried to shriek at his foe, but no sound came out. Striking a pose with his arms, Gigan stepped forward, ready to finish his foe before he became damaged any further. Pass.
Cyber Godzilla's eyes narrowed as Gigan approached. Bending down, he sent volume missiles at the cyborg. Gigan could react. They all detonated inside his open throat, destroying what was left of his neck and sending his head toppling to the ground with a thud. As Gigan's body began to fall, Cyber Godzilla marched up to the cyborg's severed head. He watched for a moment as Gigan's beak and mandibles twitched. Roaring fiercely, Cyber Godzilla unleashed his atomic rays, roasting Gigan's head until it was charred black. Looking around, Cyber Godzilla's skin was left of Cedar Point, awaiting further instructions from his masters, until Gigan became and slit his throat. Winner, Gigan.
Well, that was dark.
Yeah. I don't remember the part where Gigan leapt up and the headless Gigan leapt up and slit Cyber Godzilla's throat.
Well, it's been a while since you read it, so.
Yeah. This is the haunted Gigan suit too, right?
Please no.
Huh, weird. I only see Cyber Godzilla's image down here. Anyway.
Fuck you!
Kaiju X, that's just your dementia.
Maybe. But anyway, yeah. I think the match itself is alright. I think bless you. I think the match itself it's perfectly fine for what it is. Christian's always been a decent writer, and his matches are, well choreographed enough. So, like this is an overall decent match. I think it's the same thing I said with match 109, Veron versus Crystalak, where it's perfectly decent. I have a very hard time really sort of complaining, or there are some minor spelling mistakes, but it's nothing that destroys the match. But friggin' yeah, it's just a decent match all around. I guess my only real criticism is I wish there was a little bit of it just kind of abruptly ends once Gigan dies. We don't get any sort of real resolution between the Leviathan aliens and the Nebulans, so it would have been nice just to have a little bit of a wrap up there, even if it's pretty obvious of what it is. But the minor nitpicks aside, it's a decent match. So I kind of like the banner for some strange reason. I'm not sure what it is that clicks with me on this one. So, but I kind of like the banner. Even though I guess it's just the extra layering going on, placing Cyber Godzilla Gigan inside a big old park. The locale's really nice. I do like the aesthetic of Cedar Point. It looks nice, so yeah. Great show. What are your thoughts?
All right, I like this match. First one with Cyber Godzilla's woohoo. And the banner's pretty nice. Cyber Godzilla looks a smidge out of place, but I mean, considering that's all that you give him, totally understandable. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it was really engaging. I like the dialogue between the two at the very beginning. It was a good setup. The location's unique, having them fight in an amusement park. I'm guessing Christian maybe knows this place. So which is why he wanted it destroyed. Maybe it wronged him one day, and he was like, never again.
Or it could be a match 111 situation where it's like, oh yeah, I know this place really well, so it's like a brief tour of Cedar Park or Cedar Point. Not bad.
Touche. But no, otherwise, I gotta say, I still quite enjoyed it. It was still pretty fun. I do like that Cyber Godzilla got the win at the end, though. Poor Gigan in that losing streak, but who cares? But yeah, no, otherwise, thoroughly enjoyed. I'd say it's a good match from him and a good start off for Cyber Godzilla.
I know Alex will...
Fuck you!
Yeah, I was about to say Alex would be inclined to disagree. So, Alex, what did you think of the match, besides the 2-word sentence that you were about to say?
What did you think about it, excluding Cyber Godzilla?
Fuck you!
So, Nagoda, what did you think of the match?
If Gigan just posed more, he probably would have won. Because he did pose a lot, but he didn't pose enough.
0 out of 10.
That was his
needed
one
more
downfall.
poses.
So, my turn.
No, Ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto, what'd you think of it?
Oh, did I?
Wait your fucking turn.
It was pretty good. Yeah, it's another one of those. It's pretty good. I like the banner. Yeah, I agree with Gray Shot. Cyber Godzilla kind of looks a little out of place, but Gigan blends in like perfectly.
It looks like a PS1 graphic.
Yeah, I also agree with KWCs that there could have been a bit more to the ending than just abruptly ending. Like, why were they fighting?
But it's a Christian match. It has to end abruptly.
At least you guys can see the banner. My bad internet only gives me a gray rectangle.
That's all you need.
That's big. Ooh. What else was I gonna? Oh yeah, it was nice seeing Gigan not controlled by the Exilians and instead by the Space Hunter M's this time around. So that was pretty neat. And that's about it.
Alright, Joe, what'd you think of the match?
Well, Alex, I think you're gonna hate me, but I
already do hate you. What the hell are you talking about?
I like this match.
Fuck you!
It's just dumb fun. This is probably the...
Oh, you're probably one of those assholes who thought Battleship was a good movie.
But Alex, I hate Battleship. Implies I was lying.
This is the Battleship KWC matches.
How dare you insult Battleship such?
The legacy of Battleship, how could you?
A legacy of Battleship drifting.
Thing is, I'm pretty sure everyone forgot about that movie
Oh, yeah,
until I
for sure.
mentioned it.
Yep.
Listen, Rihanna gave a performance unlike any other. So how dare you? How dare you?
Wait, there was a Battleship movie?
Wait,
Yeah,
you
it was like
you
2012.
legit don't know?
Well, he is blessed.
I forgot.
To be fair,
yes,
to be
there was a
fair,
Battleship movie,
To be
and that is
fair,
all you need to know.
it's pretty much Transformers 6.
Okay, so not much.
There's literally destroyers, what I assume are skidding on water at some point. So yeah, it's great.
Fuck the match, we're talking about Battleship. We're reviewing Battleship.
Yeah, and also I apologize for anyone that was listening in and hearing some of the beeping. I was checking through all the past matches because I was curious. Anyway, with that said,
About Battleship, we knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it's all connected.
Battleship
we will
and the
continue our
KWCs.
discussion of Battleship in the next episode of the Committee Reads. Until then, folks.
Go fuck yourself.
I'm putting Rihanna in the KWC.